Oh my god, I'm actually so excited for this. I had no idea this would take so long. Maybe it's because I just got way too many things piled on and then I had to just focus on other things, but it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I did it. I'm here and I can fucking talk about this. Finally. Oh my god. Also, about the last video regarding the designs, I messed up so bad. Um, I messed up because I focused. Now that I look back at it, I focused so much more on how he's like than how he looks, and I explained his whole personality. I explained like how he works, how he thinks, but not how he fucking looks. Like that's the whole point of design, a character design, to show how he is, but also why and how that correlates to like how his looks correlate to his personality. So yeah, that was my bad. I was freestyling and I had to edit 15 minutes of me rambling into 3 minutes because my speed paint was way too short. And I somehow managed to do that. Dear God, don't let me do that again. This time, I'll split it into the personality part and the design part, or at least I'll try to give both of them equal time so that it's less chaotic and that it actually serves the purpose of character design, right? Also, if anything's different than what I said in my previous video, forget about it. This video is more canon. This video is kind of the priority of canon. So yeah, don't worry about it, guys. And quickly, before I get started, I want to give a shout out to Wikipedia and that one book I've read on manipulation, which actually helped me with body cues and expressions. This is my last video on character design. I've actually looked into shape language. Shocker! I should have fucking I should have looked into it before my first video, but I don't know. I wanted to do it for funsies, but now I'm doing it. I'm doing a more serious take. So yeah, I tried a new technique I call TBL. Trait behavior looks. I just made this up. But it basically lets me see the pattern between what Mikio or any other character would do and how that reflects in real life. For example, one of the main problems he has is the fact that he keeps comparing himself to other important people in his life. With Ruka, he feels like he's not doing good enough, and because of it, he hates people judging him and fears failure. It's a bad combination because the comparisons make it much harder for him to ignore if he's a failure or not, and it sends him into a negative feedback loop of lowering his self-esteem with each comparison he doesn't seem content with. That's a character trait. All that I said. And with that character trait comes some behavior that's closely related to what he feels or thinks. Mikio's behavior based on that fear of failure and comparing himself to people would probably be trying his best in any situation so that he wouldn't have to experience failure in the first place. He'd listen in class, take advice from his parents, make sure to be everything he thinks he's supposed to be. The perfect child, in a sense. But Ruka, ironically enough, does not fit that pattern at all. She doesn't fit in with anyone around her. She has a really strong core and a sense of independence and wants to be different from others. Her designs can be flashy and eye-catching, and she never does things to seem different than she is. That trait is probably one of the most heartbreaking ones, since for Mikio, it sometimes feels like Ruka is perfecting the way to live with ease and no worries. None of the preparing and effort Mikio gives, since she doesn't have to try to be this way. And now, the final piece, the L, L, take the L, Mikio take the L, is how that behavior relates to his appearance. And anyway, literally anyway, the way I see the fear being shown is by trying to maintain cleanliness and order. Nothing's out of place in his clothes. Everything has a reason. Everything is symmetrical, color coded, maintained properly. He's like that one girl in class you've had that uses multiple colored highlighters, makes headings in different colors and shit, and like can basically make up a stationary item. And she can like fucking make up a stationary item and it appears in her bag, and then you're like, oh, can I try that one? And she's gonna say, no, I need that. And then she doesn't even touch it because she has different markers she's gonna use, and then you never see that thing again. I'm not projecting. Okay. The only difference is Mikio's handwriting cannot be saved with the orderly rule. No matter how much he tries, his writing cannot be as clean, as fancy as that girl. Maybe it's because he mostly uses writing for thoughts. One part of him, the only part of him, that can't be controlled from the outside. Huh? It's a good thing to keep in mind. Sometimes character-specific behavior can be related to another behavior and not a visible trait. I could branch out my fear of failure example and make it more school-oriented. His fear makes him study hard, which is a behavior, which makes him listen in class, which is a behavior, which makes him hate disruptions that would prevent him from paying attention, also a behavior. All of these are connected and relate to one aspect of his life. It actually really helped me figure out how he acts. Like, the main character and side characters need a different vibe. And since shape language is good at conveying that visually, I decided to assign each shape to a character. And Mikio's is a rectangle. Or square. No, right, rectangle. Okay, yeah, rectangle. Okay, thank God it's fucking recording, holy shit. It fits really well with this orderly, kind of sharp outside. And also he has a rectangle notebook with him at all times. And I kind of like to add more rectangles in other places too. Some of his outfits would have stripes, thin lines, straps, anything of that sort. I kind of played with lines, to be honest. Like the lines on his sweater, which are kind of, fabric lines. But they're lines, right? And the jeans, oh my god, the jeans have lines. On one of the outfits. And also the other outfit. And there's a strap, and there's another strap, and there's a bag strap. Yeah. The only outfit I couldn't actually work a good rectangle strap line thing for was the uniform. Aside from the tie, which everyone is gonna have the same tie, and it's not really a thing you can change based on the person, unless you're someone who abides the rules, which Mikio's not. I kind of didn't know where to put it. And I didn't want to force it either, so I guess he can't really show off his personality in the school outfit. Which, I mean, it makes sense. And now face and body. His face is gonna be very, very bland. Just like I wanted it to be. His eyes are gonna give off this neutral vibe. Like he's constantly observing, quietly judging, and never showing it on his face properly. Just like most Japanese people. Don't fucking get me for that. That's what I heard. They judge but silently. Yeah, and so yeah, he's gonna be a very stoic guy that represses everything. Literally everything. A bad thing happened, repress it. A good thing happened, repress it. Write it in the notebook. I'm angry, repress it. Write it in the notebook. Do whatever. Just don't show it. Right? Also his hair. Oh my god. I had the most trouble with that. I wanted him to have hair that makes him blend in, because he wants to blend in. He's an introvert. But I also didn't want it to make it too simple, because first of all, he's the main character, and second of all, it needs to fit with the fashion. The fashion, the kind of fashion where you think, okay, he has it together. It's very simple, but it works, right? I also thought that I could make it messy, you know, a little bit, so that it could give us a glimpse into the core of the personality, just like the messy handwriting. But then I realized that maybe I could kind of make it symmetrical and make it stay, oh god, I'm fucking losing my shit. Make it symmetrical and then make it less symmetrical as the time goes on, the less he can control the perfectionism mask. And yeah, I tried a lot of designs. I tried real life models, anime guys. Anime guys have really, but the thing is with anime guys, they have colored hair. Most of them. Blonde, red, green, blue, whatever, white, unnatural black, right? I didn't want that. Because he needs to be a student. A student cannot have dyed hair in Japan. Because he's gonna get fucking thrown out. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, let's say my school is gonna be very, very strict for Japan standards. He fucking dyes a single hair red or green or blue, he gets thrown out. He cannot go back there anymore. And Mikio is way too much of he's a big pussy, so he wouldn't do that, right? Because what would he say to his parents? Like, oh, I'm in a big city. My sister is out there. She's doing great things. And I got thrown out because I wanted to make my hair blue. I'm going back to the countryside. Right? He wouldn't make it out alive. That's what I'm saying. And then I had to settle the fucking hair debate. Like, you'll see, I had to settle the hair debate by sketching out different hairs I had down in my notepad, and I ended up with 9 choices. And to be fair, it was actually like 5, since the other ones I was sure I wouldn't use for Mikio specifically. But it was good practice, I guess. I had all of those choices to choose from. And to help myself choose, I wrote some notes on what I think the vibe is for each hair, and if it fits Mikio or not. And I kept the original hairstyle for a very long time as I was trying to pick, because I realized that it wasn't all that bad. And the funny plant looking cowlick had to stay, obviously. Now it's a core part of his design. And about the designs, I'm still yapping, yeah. I did 4 separate outfits, and I tried to give them much more detail than I usually do for a character. I'm a sucker for doodles and capturing the emotion and face of the character rather than designing their clothes, but this time I logged in. And I learned the hard way that eyeballing anatomy, like I always do, is not a great idea. But when you're trying to do full body poses, whoops, I had to genuinely think about my proportions, and I made sure to make the poses not cover up the outfits while showing the personality of Mikio. And I used a lot of references, which you can't see here. I'm glad. I think I flashed one of the references for a second. Somewhere there. You're gonna see it. I'm not gonna edit it out. It's funny. The first one is pretty simple. It's a school uniform. I already did a much more in-depth analysis on how the high school uniforms would look like and why. So yeah, he's boring here. And like I said before, there's not much to talk about other than the fact that maybe I was trying to figure out that little shape on the tie. Because first of all, the first thing I did was make it striped. But then I realized that it looked way too close to the Harry Potter thing they have. It was a Harry Potter tie, I'm sorry. It's the Harry Potter color scheme, and I realized that, and I was like, shit, I can't make it like that. Which I couldn't go back because it's a camellia color scheme. So I guess he's in Hogwarts. I don't know. The second outfit I picked was a casual one. Because there's a lot of other characters since everyone has their own style. And I can put my rectangles to use. Honestly, I did a little bit of rectangles here and there. Including the notebook, which doesn't really stand out in the brown background, but whatever. It's there in his hand, obviously, right there. Since Ruka used him as a model for fashion design, he has a couple of things she made tailored specifically for him to hone her skills. Ruka is a diva, I'm Yell lover, so she's very talented. Her pieces were being very detail oriented. Practice clothes she's been making at home have a very luxurious feel to it, despite the family not being well off. They're kind of, not rich. So with that said, Mikio's personal fashion style is going to be clean minimalism / effortless chic. Yay! What the fuck does that mean? It's a bunch of code words I can use to type into Pinterest so that I can have more inspiration for the for the designs, obviously. Oh yeah, and why minimalism, you ask? It's a very good question. Have a cookie. It's because he's a fucking pussy and doesn't like attention. It's because he's an introvert and likes to blend in and not attract too much unwanted attention. Fits right in. It's just me cute. And as soon as I started researching on this fashion style, I realized just how fucking boring it was. And it was what I feared. The white shirt jeans combo. Like I want him to have a the white shirt jeans combo. So I kind of tried to give him a little bit more detail, right? Like Ruka would want it. And his pose too. This pose is probably my favorite one because it's casual. It's the most casual of all of them. Like he's so stiff in the other poses. Oh my god. But I feel like it fits. It literally fits. Also, I couldn't not include his dapper looks from before he realized he hates attention. So yeah, Ruka made him many clothes, but only a specific selection of these items stay with him until now, which you can already tell from the casual home outfit. It's one of the more milder ones, that's why it stayed. He grew out of some, got bored of others, and some he couldn't stand because it made him attract attention. In other words, he was getting bitches and decided he was too powerful with that ability, so he abandoned it. Idiot. In all seriousness, this kind of journey to explore his fashion sense really adds to the factor that he's not just a bland main character in some VN that doesn't have a personality or life or plays games and watches anime all the time, right? It's not that. No. He's deep. He's deep. Guys, he's deep. Don't worry about it. He's not a white shirt, jeans, even though he's a minimalist. I didn't know it meant the same thing, okay? And some things I really like about this design. Oh my god, the pattern on the t-shirt, amazing. I actually love it. I also I'm gonna talk about it here. His color palette is kind of lighter, maybe going into pastel, whatever tones, colors. And the colors are kind of close to each other and they're complementary. It kind of makes it clear that he doesn't like experimenting much. He likes to stick with what he already has. He didn't change all that much, his hair grew and stuff, so he kind of changing on its own. His looks are changing because he's in a different environment now. And now he doesn't have his sister to help, right? So he has to pull himself together. And the fourth outfit, I at first I actually envisioned him with a long winter coat, which kind of keep that mysterious, simple yet effective aesthetic. But then I added some cool ass violet cargo pants. They were so cool. Oh my god, with the pockets. I just love those. And I just didn't have the heart to erase all the detail I just made, so I ended up just turning the coat into a small jacket. First I thought that maybe this would be the only more flashy design he can't change, because Ruka gifted like a very cool coat to him, and he doesn't really have money to buy another one, so he kind of has to wear a very flashy coat with him at all times now. But I didn't do it because I'm not a monster. This design is kind of the most simple of all four. I didn't want to overdo it, right? The focus is mostly on the pants, which I love. I love the pants. I love the pants. I shaded the pants pretty well. And it was the last design, so I kind of was really eager to finish everything. Despite me trying to be very, I went all out with four designs, four full designs. I don't know, I never draw shoes. I never draw shoes, and now I had to 3 times because one of them is in socks. Thankfully, God, it was so hard. Like, you can see 2 poses of the shoes. Oh my god, I have to get better at this. I just have to. For the other characters, I'll try to have 2 designs max. Like the school one, how they wear their school uniform, and some casual one. Because I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that with 4 other people. Holy shit, that'd be crazy. I'm not doing that to myself. Also, I wanted to add more, like 2 Ruka designs into this video, but too much. Like, I'd have to wait until like after the new year probably to post it. So nah, I'm not doing that shit. I already spent so long trying to like finish this. So now I'm gonna probably do her and then others. But 2 designs. I have to limit myself. I have to fucking control myself. My god. And also some last thoughts. I really like this. I tried a new technique with kind of shading and coloring them in all the drawings, and even though it kind of looks messy, still it's, for my art style, I think it's pretty neat. And if I were to try and redo everything, I'd probably have to, I don't know, just use 20 more layers or more, which I don't want to do. Okay, so I think this was more of a design focused overview of Mikio. Actually, I think I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna make a really personality focused video, and then I'm gonna make a very design focused video. That's a really good idea. I sometimes get really good ideas. But yeah, if you watched this whole video, holy shit, you're amazing. Thank you. Thank you. I love yapping about my characters, and I'm gonna make more. Oh, this was so fun. I might be saying, oh, it was so hard to do the character's design, I can't draw, whatever, fucking. But I'm learning, and I like that I'm learning, and I like that I can focus on them properly. That's something, you know, I'm creating my own people. I'm gonna be proud of them when Mikio, you know, evolves into a better person. He has to open up to others. Mikio, please. Please do it for yourself. Alright. So yeah. I want to do more. but later. It's gonna take another couple of weeks. Probably. Hopefully not. Maybe I'm gonna try to cram in more, but I can't make any promises. So yeah, bye bye. Thank you for watching.